we are joined by Jonathon Dunne. Been a while. How you been?
I'm doing awesome. I'm living the dream.
Are you really?
Yes.
Good.
I finally get to be an American in 2022.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
It's going to happen.
Yes, sir.
How is that going to be the case?
I finally found the woman to make the sacrifice to marry me. She's
Okay.
outside. You're going to meet her. She's a big fan. So,
Oh, good.
yeah, 2022, I'm all in to save your nation. So,
Awesome.
Congratulations.
That is great.
a miracle. Only in America, right?
Yeah, well, you're not going to live in like New York or California.
No,
right?
I'm gonna be in Okie,
Oh, Oklahoma. Very good.
We're in
choice.
Oklahoma.
near Drumright.
And why did you choose that location?
That's where she lives.
That's where she's from.
I'm gonna be a bum and go live off her.
How'd you meet?
Nice.
So we've been actually friends since 2015 and became very friendly. And then I obviously suffered with depression and nearly killed myself 2 years ago. So to get here, I had to go to Turkey to isolate. Imagine, despite your border being wide open, I can't fly from Ireland or Europe anywhere. So I got to go to Turkey, and she was like texting me twice every day. Hey, how you doing? You all right? Just checking in. And we became really close. And
That's
then,
really nice.
we just became friends. There's a long story of how we got together, but we got together. It's love at first sight for me. She's amazing. She puts up with me. She's got a great sense of humor. And for whatever reason, she loves me. I don't understand the appeal. She said it's for my body. I don't believe that, but that's what she says. But that shows you what type of sense of humor we have, and I'm blessed to be here.
And how are you doing emotional wise?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better.
Depression-wise?
Yeah, no,
Better?
I'm doing a lot better.
Good.
I got to the point where 2 years ago I nearly killed myself, and I literally would have done it, but I chickened out because I was like,
Good.
I'm not ready to meet God.
Good.
I have stuff to do, and it's amazing when you get a sense of purpose in your life, when you get a mission, because my mission is to testify about America's greatness, because we need you, and you're seeing what's happening over the last year or two. It's I've always said it, America needs to restore its founding principles, because you need to be that beacon of light, but we've got a real glimpse of real tyranny. It's here, and if you guys don't
That's
wake
for
up,
sure.
we need to really restore your principles now, and that's what I'm here. I'm doing a tour with 65 events in 85 days, talking about reclaiming America's narrative, because quite simply put, America is the best story man ever came together to write.
I love it when you come in, because it is.
We need it.
I mean, we just get beaten down.
Yes.
We just get beaten down with all the garbage
Yes.
every day, and there's so much of it, and there's so much tyranny right now and oppression going on in this country, and it tends to weigh you down.
Yes.
So
But I think
you
you
are
need
like
to
a
look-
breath of fresh air when you come in and you say these things and remind us of this.
But I also think you need to understand the rebellious spirit. So, you think you've had it bad in America. You didn't have anything compared to what we have. Like in Ireland, we could not go more than 3 miles from our house. I could leave for two legal reasons. One was to exercise and walk the dog. And look at my physique. Clearly, I walk that dog every day, right? And the second reason was to go to an approved store to get essential supplies. We're still wearing masks. We're still on lockdown. Pubs
My
closed for like
gosh.
400 days. Mass and churches closed for like 6 months. You couldn't get communion. You couldn't get confession.
In Ireland, the pubs are
Ireland.
still closed?
Well, no, they're back open now,
Okay.
but they closed for like 400 days. Nightclubs closed for over
crazy.
500 days. The church closed for months, and everyone just accepted it. Whereas at least, I know you're kind of hurting right now because everyone's down, but you still have this rebellious streak where you're like, nope.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even in Texas, like we're still wearing masks. You can't go anywhere in Ireland without wearing a mask. I'm in Texas. The only time I've worn a mask this tour is when I'm in the airports and to get my car. You have this rebellious streak, and people are like, nope, not doing it, not going anymore. So as bad as things are, you still have this rebellious streak. The biggest difference, and this is the bad side of it, you're not as optimistic as you are, and that's what I tell
That's
everyone.
true.
You need to be more optimistic, because despite all the flaws, despite all your issues, you still live in the greatest country in the world, and you need to act accordingly.
Yeah.
And it's time to be
Absolutely.
the more optimistic people.
It's hard to be optimistic when you get kicked where you live every single day. But,
Yeah.
but you're right. We
But
need to
there are
keep that.
signs. Like, there are, if you look for the positive news, there is signs. Like this news this week, I'm going to be talking about on my podcast this week, this idea of the University of Austin, that is huge. What you need to start doing is stop looking to government to be the solution and start looking to innovate, to creativity. Because despite, again, all your flaws, I get the rules and the regulations, they're burdensome, but they're not as burdensome here as everywhere else in the world. Your tax code is still better. You still can create. But the thing is, it's getting to the point in time where if you don't start creating, you're done. It's now or never. It's put up or shut up time. And that's what I'm trying to encourage you. And if you go in with an attitude where we're done, we can't do this, and the glass is half empty, guess what? That's all you're going to see. Whereas if you go in, and I know it's hard, but the glass is half full, let's look for the positivity. Let's understand our history. Let's understand everything we've accomplished. Because this enemy is not a great enemy. This enemy is not Hitler. This enemy is not Stalin. This enemy is not even Gorbachev's Russia. This enemy, as I keep saying to people, is nothing more than the Wizard of Oz. It looks powerful. It looks strong. I am the great and powerful Oz. And you look behind the curtain, you see a little timid old man. Does that remind you of America in 2021? You see a little timid old man behind the curtain? It is. That's all it is. It's a magic trick. They're wanting to make you feel like you can't do anything, but the American spirit says, no, we will solve these problems if you act.
What is the perception of Joe Biden in Europe, in Ireland? Do they understand this guy's cognitive decline? Do they understand what a buffoon he is, or are they celebrating his presidency?
I think it's a bit of both.
Is it?
Yeah, in Ireland and Europe, if you're a Democrat, you automatically get a pass. It's because the thing is, you need to understand where Irish people and European people and English people get their news. It's from the AP. So whatever the AP says over here, you can pretty much it's regurgitated over there. You know, at least he doesn't tweet. You know, and at least he's a different thing. And that's just a different animal. But I think people in Europe are starting to really freak out, especially in mainland Europe, because of what happened in Afghanistan. They're like, oh, dear God, they're close to us. And they have what? They have how many planes? They have how many rockets? Oh, we don't have that. We gave them all up. You know, and it's like, well, the lesson there is not Afghanistan. The lesson is, hey, don't give up all your weapons and maybe, learn how to fight. But absolutely. But he's a Democrat. It's Democrat good, Republican bad. And that's the simple narrative, and that's as simple as it will get for Irish people.
Are the Irish starting to get tired of all the lockdowns and the nonsense?
Nope.
They're completely compliant.
Absolutely. To give you a thing, right? So I always give this as a stat. So we do polls like you do over here. Consistently since day one, a poll has been asked, how is the government done? Has it done too much? Has it done too little? Despite, can't go more than 3 miles from your house, all these horrific lockdowns, can't go to this business, can't go to this business, all the mental health issues, all the businesses closing, consistently between 20 and 25% of the people said the government has not done enough.
Oh my God.
For all, even that's to this day.
Wow.
And that's the difference, and that's why the power is, when I talk about America and the power and the people, when you have 25% kind of, well, the government hasn't done enough. I'm like, what else do you want them to do? Do you want them to lock us in our buildings like China where they literally concrete us in? What's the answer? The answer in America is your people still are rebellious. The thing what you need is you kind of need to be a bit more encouraging. Because I tell you one thing, from going out and doing all these events, I'm here 2 months now, the people are hurting. They need a bit of inspiration because they want to act. They want to save their country. But the problem is they see panic and fear from everywhere they look. Every media is talking about it. We need a bit of oomph. We need a bit of encouragement to say, no, this is what we're going to do because we can overcome this.
It's fantastic to hear. And where can people see you when you're on these tours? Like, where are upcoming stops?
So I'm actually in the Blaze Studios tonight, which is really exciting. First time ever I'm giving a presentation here.
You are giving a presentation here?
Yeah, it's not for the Blaze. It's with the True Texas Project.
Okay.
So if you go to my Facebook and reach out to me, but I'm in Texas. I'm pretty much at the end. I'm in Texas till Thanksgiving, and then I've got a couple of events in Pennsylvania. So that's pretty much it. So I've done the other 15 states. So thank God I'm at the end.
Already been here for 2 months, huh?
Yes, September 7th.
Huh.
My first event was in St. George, Utah. It was a lot of fun.
I bet it was.
Oh, I've never been to Utah before. It was beautiful.
Oh, Utah's a
So you're getting to see the country as well as preach to us?
No, I don't. No, there's zero downtime.
Well, you'll get to that.
Yeah, I know, absolutely.
So when's the wedding? When's the marriage? And when do you move?
This is a touchy subject.
Yeah?
I've got to wait to ask the government to say, hey, can we get married? And when the government says, yes, we can, then we get married.
Wait, this government has to?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Are they suspicious of what you're doing here? Are they thinking you're doing it only for immigration status?
Oh, no, I'm not. The marriage or what I'm working
Yeah, the marriage.
Oh, no, it's clear if anyone sees it. Like, we text a lot because one of the things we were talking about, we have to get the criteria. Tanya's going to get on to AT&T and say, hey, can we have our phone bill for our last couple of months because we've been texting and phoning a lot. So anyone who says it, anyone who looks at us.
Wait a minute. So they will see how often you've communicated. Are they going to be reading your communications
I hope
as well?
not, because there's a lot of inappropriate stuff. There's a lot of inappropriate stuff in our text messages. We have both very dark senses of humor and stuff, and we joke about a lot of stuff. So we actually even joke about it. It's like when we're in the middle of different things, and we're like, God, I hope the NSA agent who's reading our calls really appreciates, because they've got to be cracking themselves up at what we say. So. And we're Republicans and conservatives, so we do use coded language.
Of course, sure.
That's what I'm worried about, man. My goodness.
So,
Now,
that's all good.
we just had a story last week, I think it was, that I believe Ireland is one of the most, if not the most vaccinated country on earth.
Absolutely, yes.
And yet, haven't they just had massive breakouts
Yes, it's funny
in
how
certain
that
parts of the
happens,
country?
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Is
you
it
see,
91%? Is that what I read? 91% are vaccinated?
Of over 16s.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, the problem is, it's not the vaccine isn't working. There's no issues with the vaccine. It's that you're not using your mask right now and you're not social distancing. So we had this guy.
What the government's saying.
Okay.
We had our version of anti-Fauci in the news yesterday. He's like, I'm not happy with everyone. I'm not happy with the way they're working. I know you want to meet and stuff, but if you're going to meet 10 people, only meet 5. If you're going to go out twice this week because it's Christmas, only go out once. If we do all these little reductions, we can do it. And the Irish people go, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Crazy.
Who is saying that? Anthony Fauci?
Our version.
Your version of Anthony Fauci. Okay.
It's Dr. Tony Holohan.
Uh-huh.
And he's just as nice as Anthony Fauci. Except he has an added bonus. When he did, in the middle of this, sadly, his wife died of cancer. And you know the way Anthony Fauci says, you can't argue with me or you're arguing with science. Anytime you criticize, you'd say, why is he saying this? He's not elected. This guy risked his life. He left his wife who was dying. How could you dare speak out? I'm like, I'm not saying anything bad about the guy. I'm just saying, can we question what he's saying? No, you can't. His wife, he literally left his dying wife of cancer to serve people and to tell you what to do. Why can't you just be grateful? Because I don't want to be told how to live.
Right.
And
especially once you're vaccinated and then you're still being told how to live.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can go, what you can do, what you can have on your face the whole time.
Oh, when they were doing
what do you
the
mean?
booster
How
shots.
could it be the mask when I've got the vaccine and I shouldn't need the mask?
I know. But now it's the booster shots. It's got to be the booster shots. And then it'll be the 4th booster shot and the 5th booster shot. This is the
There's
thing
no
Americans
end in sight.
know. The government is once government gets power, it never ever gives it back.
Correct.
And that's the thing about Americans that I'm so impressed with. You're like, nope, I'm done. Not wearing a mask.
Yep.
Well,
you've got people.
Part of the country.
Well, a good part.
There are places like New York, California,
absolutely.
where
They're complying.
Well, the horrific story from New York, literally, this should be a warning sign that if you're a 5 to 11-year-old person and a kid in New York, you can't go into an establishment now without your papers.
Yeah.
This should be a warning sign. Wake
Sure should.
up.
Yeah, we have to. We absolutely have
It's
to.
medical apartheid. That's all there is to it.
But also, this is the positive thing. If you look at the thing as much of all the tyranny you're facing right now, if you look at it from the glass as half full, the arguments are so easy to win. They're literally telling you who they are. Get vaccinated. Even if you're 5 years old, get vaccinated. Moderna is doing this thing where now from infants from as young as 6 months are going to go through this stuff. This should be the easiest argument. Even things like the Great Reset, which is a massive challenge. That what Democrat? We need to start talking to people. What Democrats like? Hey, you're going to only eat meat once a week. Are you okay with that? The most Democrats I know be like, hell no. Oh, by the way, you're going to own nothing and be happy about it. Do you like owning your iPhone? Yep. I don't care whether you vote, even for AOC. Even the AOC supporters. Hey, you'll never own your iPhone again.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Well, then there you go. That's why you should be against the Great Reset. That's what your side is doing. Let's join together. Not look for a left message or a right message, but an American freedom message. Because if you make it about America, you will win. Because the arguments are so easy to dismantle.
Jonathon Dunne, where can we get Freedom Disciple, your podcast?
So it's on theblaze.com/podcast. You'll see me, or if you,
Awesome.
It's free. It's on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, whatever platform you use. Look up Freedom Disciple. We're out every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your enthusiasm and your love of America, too.
Always. All in,
It's
brother.
amazing. Thank you.